All right, everybody. Now picture this. If that's the Discord soundboard, nobody can hear it, and all you've done is
I know.
So,
If we use the OBS backup,
yeah, in the small with percentage chance that we use the OBS backup. But folks, imagine if you will, right? Imagine if you did a podcast.
Imagine some bullshit.
Imagine if
That's
you
what you need to do.
Imagine if you did a podcast with two people, right? Let's just say hypothetically, you did a podcast with two people, one of which was in the same time zone as you, and the other of which was an hour behind. Imagine you're in that scenario. Now, usually
it's hard for me to imagine. I'm trying. I really am.
Usually when we're talking about the show, in this hypothetical scenario, I'm just using wheeze as a way to set the stage. Usually when we talk about the show, we talk in the time zone that is good for 2 out of 3 of us, but we will clarify for the third person. We'll be like, oh, that's this for you.
All right, yeah, so now he's just admitting, hey, my bad, but I forgot to clarify.
But then, now picture this scenario, right? So imagine the time you do this show in this hypothetical world is 8 o'clock the time for the 2 people, 7 o'clock the time for the 1 person. And you say, let's do the show early at 7 o'clock. Now, you would think in that scenario where the usual time for the other person in the different time zone is 7, that would be like, oh, we usually do it at 7, which means if it's 7 and it's early, they probably mean their time.
Yeah, but this third person tends to be late anyway, so maybe
considering
they just
we do it at 7
on
every
time.
week in their world, and we said we were doing it at 7 early. Now, Mo,
it would be early for you, but not him.
Yes, but you would think that he would think about that, and he'd be like, "Wait a minute! So we're doing it early at 7 o'clock."
Nick, you're doing it early because it's your time
Eastern.
Because in your time zone it's 7, but if you normally do it at 7,
it is early for him because it would be 6 for him.
No, it's not early for him. He's doing it at 7, and you're doing it at 7. He always does it at 7.
Yeah,
right, Mo.
Yeah, right. And honest to God, like it was only because it didn't dawn on me that y'all are talking about Eastern Standard Time. So I'm like, oh, okay, so we're just doing it at 7, like the general time, which is my time because
which is the normal time.
Which is the normal time.
But we said we were doing it early.
Yeah,
but it would be early to do it at 7 would be early for you because you normally do it at 8.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Mo knows what I'm talking about, okay?
No, he doesn't.
Yeah. No, I totally understand. I
get the general vibe. I'm fucking complete bullshit right now. No, sorry. What I meant to say was I think the time is a little too hand-holdy this around this time of day.
Yeah, it's a little bit too easy.
And those boss fights, man. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, see, time back in the day was a lot more engaging. You know, you actually had to work for it.
But now it's all paywalled, and honestly, I feel like I don't get the whole thing if I don't buy all the DLC.
Oh, yeah, true. And you know, all the DLC with the ending that's releasing on the next console iteration, too. Destiny.
Is that true?
Yeah, no, that's totally fucking true. Destiny, like, it's this big, you know, I don't even have time. I don't want to walk all over your cold opening here and you, like, sort of calling me out.
That was basically my only bit. And usually these cold opens are like 10 minutes. So if you want to take over, by all means.
Oh, okay. Cool. This is a record short one, about 4-ish minutes, just to boot. You know what I was doing? Because, like, I thought I had, like, a little bit of time. I made me some dinner. And I was like, all right, I'm going to get high, and I'm going to watch Ambiguous Amphibians fucking Project Zomboid fucking videos. Because, like, I've been watching that and playing Final Fantasy 14 because I upgraded to, like, the full edition. So I'm like, fuck yeah, I just actually got... I guess, like, I when I quit streaming, which is when we were supposed to start podcasting. So, yeah, god damn it. I should have just stayed playing Final Fantasy 14. But I didn't have anyone to show up and help me out when I had questions. I'm like, I having to relearn everything. Oh, it was like that first hour was... What's my fucking inventory? I. Oh, fuck. What's my fucking
what's the industry standard for inventory?
Yeah, I know. Shut up.
It would have been a lot better if you were still playing Final Fantasy 14, because then we would have just joined your stream call at 7 and been like, "What the fuck are you doing? It's mocast time."
Oh,
and we would
yeah,
have.
see, that would be funny. That'd be funny as shit. Because I laugh my ass off whenever I'm like kicking ass at a really good live stream. You're like, Mo, where are you? I'm like, I'm right here, motherfucker. I'm playing video games and I'm kicking ass.
I had somebody literally like not. Because you see, the thing about Mo, this is we're getting to a little bit of a drama territory, but it's okay. I'll go there.
Christ.
So when Mo Diggity does that, he admits his mistake, he ends the stream, and he fulfills his scheduled obligation. Now there was one time where me and Raging Gingy had something scheduled, and he started a Phasmophobia live stream, and I was like,
What?
"Hey, buddy." We have something scheduled in like 5 minutes.
No. I've never played Phasmophobia.
I'm talking about somebody that listen. Open your ears, Mo.
He's talking about Gingy.
Oh, I
I'm
thought
not
you were all right.
talking
You didn't.
about
All right,
you.
see, this is what I'm fucking saying. Like,
I thought you meant
didn't-
7 my time.
Okay, see, all right, fuck it. All right, go ahead.
So I'm in the chat and I'm like, "Hey, Gingy, we have an episode scheduled tonight, buddy. What are you doing?" And then he just like blew me off, and it was bullshit. You know,
Just didn't care.
just didn't care. This Phasmophobia game I decided to play 5 minutes ago takes precedent over the podcast that we scheduled days ago, and I'm
To be
completely
fair, that is a
unapologetic
fun
in that
game.
fact.
To
It
be
does
fair,
look
it is
pretty
a fun
fun.
game. It is a fun game. It's not as fun as Deceit, which is basically
Yes, it is.
Okay, yeah, it is, but I just want to play Deceit because no one's played Deceit in a while. All my friends fucking bailed. All my Deceit friends bailed, and I've been wanting to play that game lately.
Deceit is fun.
Have you ever played Deceit?
No, I thought I was talking about lying to people.
Oh yeah, that is really fun. Yeah.
Well, I've played Deceit, and I think it's pretty good.
Fuck you. All right, let's
What do you mean,
start this.
fuck you.
fucking-
I literally played Deceit.
Now, would you maybe describe that game as handholdy?
No,
the
it's
way
not
you get the
handholdy.
boss fights.
I thought it was
Honestly,
pretty like.
fuck you for agreeing with me, Demigloom.
I think
No, I
the
thought it
world
was- I
building was
thought Demi
pretty
was
well.
just- Oh, shut
I
up!
think it-
Shut up! Oh my
I'm being-
god!
Wait, have we really reached a point where I can't like describe what I like about a video game?
No,
And
I just think
we just assume that it's bullshit. I
Well,
think they did a
I mean,
pretty good
you
job,
have-
like building a world in like an aesthetically interesting experience without getting like too deep into complex writing and like investing yourself in like characters and shit.
Demi.
So somebody reverse text search what Demigloom just said and find the game journalism.
No, I'll
article.
tell you why I know that Debbie's bullshitting right now, because none of that shit actually exists in the fucking game.
No, it's not relevant
You-
at all. Yeah.
Yeah. You wake up as one of 5 random ass fucking people, and you're running away from the fucking monster, and you're
So
basically.
you were lying, you fucker.
All right,
Deceit
let's
is- Deceit is
start the
fun, you're
show
right.
with this in this house of lies.
See, no, what I do is I just describe random things that people say about games that they like and apply them, and it usually fools people for some reason because people are fucking stupid. But now that you guys know that every time I say what I like about a video game, it's bullshit. You actually take the time to
what you like as a video game.
you actually take the time to like actually think about what I'm saying. You think much more critically.
The only video game Demigloom has ever said anything good about was Super Mario 64 Star Road,
That's not true. I've said good things about other games.
which she was so passionate about saying good things about that she came into our show where we say bad things, and her bad thing was not Super Mario 64 Star
That's
Road.
right. My issue was it just not Super Mario 64 Star Road?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good issue. That's a pretty big issue. I think not Super Mario Star Road is a big problem.
It is a pretty big issue.
Big issue.
A large issue. I'm sorry. I got to use the proper rhetoric.
Muy grande issue. That's what
Muy
that is.
grande. Hey.
Muy grande. Okay, all right. Let's just start the show. A
Sure.
1, 2, a skip. Like I'm asking you for your permission.
You may
what's
start,
up?
Mo.
Oh, thank you. Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome to the MoCast. I'm your host, Mo Diggity, and today joining me, as per usual, are my two co-hosts, Robin and Riley. Say what's up, Riley.
Hey.
Say what's up, Robin.
Hello, I'm glad to be here with you and Robin and Riley.
That's good. That's good. And I guess a special guest for the show is Demigloom. Say what's up, Demi.
Hi, I used to edit this podcast, and there
You
there's
used to
definitely
edit this
nothing wrong with my
podcast,
editing.
and you quit in the most dickheaded way possible.
Wait, how did I quit?
You literally you hadn't been editing for a while because you said you were taking a break.
Yeah.
And then we talked about bringing the MoCast back, and I just tagged you and said, "Are you ready to start editing this week?" And you were like, "I'm not fucking editing this show anymore. Are you
Oh.
kidding me?"
You want to know something really funny and ironic about you bringing that up right now? That's kind of what I'm doing with my job. Because I moved, right? And I worked at this Walmart, and I just like requested off for the next 2 weeks. And eventually I'm just going to have to tell them, so I requested off with the intent to transfer to a different Walmart. So I had time off before I had to like show up to work for my first day at the new Walmart. But the transfer's not working because there's like no people lead at this Walmart. There's like no HR people. So virtually nobody can answer the phone and answer my questions about transferring. So basically I'm going to have to get a different job. And I'm left with no other option other than to like at some point during my vacation be like, y'all, I'm never coming back.
Is this PTO?
No, not PTO.
Oh.
Just unpaid time off. I just requested off for like 2 weeks because I needed to move and get into the swing of things in my new city. I didn't intend on. I intended on showing up before that 2 week period ended, but like 2 weeks was probably the most I would have needed.
Would your current boss be a reference for you just applying to the nearest Walmart?
No.
You don't think?
No. But my goal is to put in my current boss as a reference. Wait, no, that would be a bad idea. That would be weird. Not obviously I'd have to put them in as my reference because I don't have many other people, but yeah, if they get a phone call from like Starbucks or whatever, they're like, "Hi, your current employee is trying to work here. Do they show up on time?" They might have some nasty things to say about me. No, I'm kidding. I don't really care.
I'm saying, I feel like if you put in your 2 weeks notice and then you talk to your boss and you're like, "Hey, I can't. The HR department over there is not cooperating with me, like trying to transfer, which was my initial intention. So I'm just going to apply there. Will you be a reference?" I think they would.
You don't ask your employer if they'll be a reference. You just put them down.
Well, I think in this case where they also work at Walmart and it's a system.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Well, if I applied there, they don't have a people lead, meaning they won't hire new people or deal with transfers or none of that shit is going to happen. So
okay.
Also, I think there's like kind of strict laws on like what they can say as a reference. Like they can't like.
Yeah. You don't just call them and ask like what kind of person they were. You just have like some pretty specific questions. No, but like if I quit with no notice, I'm pretty sure they can say that. Like, yeah, they just fucking quit randomly. So if they get a phone call from me, if they get a phone call from a Starbucks or something under the impression that I'm currently working at that Walmart, if Walmart thinks I'm working there and they get a phone call from me, when I've given them no notice or anything that I've quit, I don't know if that would affect that conversation.
Maybe. I thought you would have to give notice.
Should I just request off the next 2 weeks and then put in my 2 weeks notice? Like,
no.
I'm off.
How far are you in 2 weeks?
I feel like you should just talk to your boss and tell them the scenario.
I think I'm like 2 days into the 2 week period.
I would just do it like ASAP.
I would talk to your boss immediately. Riley's got a good point there. Like, just tell them what the deal is and how, like, you've been really upsell the whole, like, hey, I've been trying, but no one's freaking answering the goddamn phone. Because the last thing you want to do right now in this world is be without a fucking job.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't want to have a shitty reference either.
It's Walmart too. I know it fucking sucks, and it's real working class hero and all that stuff to work at a fucking Walmart or major outlet chain like that. But
They're
at
not
least
going
it's
to
a
give you a
gig
bad
right
reference.
now.
Yeah, I'll just have to leave honorably. And to do that,
I
I'll
mean,
have to
even
fully
if you
explain
quit
the
with
situation
like
to my
no
boss.
notice, I feel like they'd still give you a pretty good reference.
Yeah, but they could totally be like, yeah, this bitch quit with no reference. And especially if I want to work somewhere that's like where they're more reluctant to hire someone, like a Target, like they'd be like, oh, I don't want to hire somebody who's going to quit in 2 weeks. I mean, in my defense, I've been working there for almost 6 months now. But quitting with no
You've been
notice is
working
not a
there
good
for
idea.
almost 6 months. You moved with the intention to transfer and weren't able to transfer. I feel like in that scenario they would have mercy upon you.
In the yes or no question of if I quit with it, like if I put in an appropriate notice, the answer is no.
No. Yeah, okay, that's fair.
But I don't even know how many of those people actually call the references. I have no idea. I have no frame.
They're probably not
References
going
in
to
the
call like a
system
Walmart.
seem ridiculous to me.
No, because okay. Everyone puts bullshit references, right? Because they just have to fill in a spot of F. Like your first 2 references, maybe you got like your previous job and then a teacher, and then like you text your group chat of people you like vaguely know, and you're like, all right, who wants to be a bullshit reference? And I've never.
That's a crime. You're admitting to a crime on air.
That's not a crime at all.
Yeah, you're getting a job under false pretenses.
Wait, is that a crime to put a bullshit reference?
I don't think well, it could be. Depends.
Is it a crime to get a job under a false pretense? I feel like that falls on the job.
It depends.
As long as you're not lying about your identity, you can just be like, "Yeah, I worked there." There was I don't remember who said it. It might have been Asterios, it might have been Vito. It was somebody who's like written before, like articles for like websites and shit. And they said that the best strategy to fill out a resume is just to say you worked at all like the gaming journalism websites that no longer exist because there's no way to check.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
What if I said like, yeah, I worked at Circuit City for 2 years.
Where service is state of the art.
Did you work at Circuit City?
No, that's just the tagline for one of their commercials.
Seems like former employee behavior to say that.
Former employee rhetoric.
Motherfucker, these are commercials in the 80s and the early 90s. Don't call me a liar or some like Circuit City fucking like
I'm not
accusing you.
Circuit City. You run a cult that is like the last remnants of Circuit City. They're so loyal to the Circuit City brand that they gather underground in secret.
Welcome, let's say the holy words, where service is state of the art. Oh,
oh, Circuit City, our Lord, come back to us.
No, I think, but like everyone's like put down their friend as a reference, right? Like their friend's number and said like educator or what, like I don't remember what the categories are for references, but like I've definitely put down friends and said they were like I don't remember, not teachers, but like instructors, like extracurricular instructors or whatever. So whatever the fucking bullshit category is, but they've never gotten a call. Like none of my friends have ever been like, yo, this place called. So I'm assuming they only call, but I don't know if they call your former job if they're likely like a Walmart or a Target or a less prestigious job.
Well, are you putting your friends down as jobs, or are you putting them down as a character reference?
I'm putting down them as character references.
Oh yeah, they don't.
I know they don't. I know they don't call those, but you do have to put some down, and I don't know what the I'll put like my fucking 10th grade teacher down who I haven't spoken to in like 6 years. Like who the fuck am I supposed to put for a character? You can't put friends and family. Who else do I know? Like I do podcasts. Should I put? Wait, could I put Mo Diggity as a reference for an employer? Because he paid me to edit the Mocast.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, dude, I've been like a manager several times for several friends, and I've also like me and my with some of my current work buddies right now and old work buddies. They're like, okay, if I need to, can I put you down as a reference for one of my supervisors or team leads or something? Like, yeah, fuck yeah, like yeah, because like fuck them, dude. Corporate America scams us all the time. I don't feel a damn bit bad for just saying that my friend is my fucking team lead. Who cares?
Yeah.
You pay taxes on the money Mo gave you?
Of course she did. Paying taxes is a good thing. Testing. We like the IRS here. Testing.
Make sure the
Okay.
mic is
Steel
catching
can
it.
melt steel beams, everybody.
Yes.
Just need to make that clear.
It could definitely melt steel beams.
Ever
Yeah.
I
since
mean,
the last,
he was your employer, so surely you paid income tax on it,
At the
right?
same time, okay, this is a
Of
weird
course.
thing, right? I feel like there'd be like, what is the difference between like a job and a favor? Because like, as I understand it, if we were to refer to you editing for Mo as a job, it is illegal that he did not pay you minimum wage. Is that correct?
Well, we don't talk about such.
Well, he did
things.
pay me minimum
Shut your
wage.
whore mouth.
Did he?
Well, actually, hey, how long? Okay, well, I can actually answer this question. How long did it take you on average to edit a show?
Probably about
Like
the length
2
of the
minutes.
show.
Oh, probably like an hour and a
Yeah.
half.
Because I would listen to it on speed, like sped up, but like I think the exporting and like yada yada. But like that's another thing is like it doesn't count. Does exporting time count? Because I would like step away from my computer or just let it export overnight.
Let's just say that
Well, it's part of the work.
Let's just say that you worked about 2 hours. No,
Yeah.
let's just
I'd say
roundabout
put
you
in
worked
about
2 hours.
I put in about 2 hours of active effort, and Mo
Okay.
paid me $20 per episode. So that's
Yeah,
$10
okay.
an hour.
I thought it took you a little longer than that. It takes me longer than that.
Sometimes it took me longer than that, depending on the episode. But like, I think if you were to average out the amount of, if you were to put like the entire time that I spent ever on the MoCast and the amount that Mo has paid me, it's well above minimum wage.
You know what?
Yeah,
That's
And
probably-
of course I paid taxes for it.
Yeah, because if it's 2 hours episode, 4 episodes, that's 8 hours. That's 10, 20. That's 20, 40, 60, 80. Yeah, that's $80 for 8 hours of work.
Mo doesn't know what 20 times 4
Fuck.
is.
I'm fucking
that's-
retarded. I'm sorry. I'm fucking stupid. Yeah,
Well,
I forget
that's
shit
gonna be
like that
fun.
too sometimes.
That's gonna be fun next tax season. I didn't even think about that.
yeah. Well, don't fucking obviously put that on your taxes, okay? We don't want to like start a thing here. I don't
Actually,
need the
okay, so this
IRS
whole thing-
fucking calling and asking questions about like Mosai Productions. Is this your production company? No.
No. Mo Diggity, as a friend, financially supported me through tough times, and as a favor, I edited his podcasts.
Yes, that is
Out of my
the
own
exact, and that's the
artistic
scenario
desire.
with me as well.
Yes. I forget that Riley paid me to edit content at one point.
Did I? Oh, I did. Yeah, that happened. You're right.
Were you ever regularly paying me?
Yeah.
What was it for?
During the time that
Issue
Mo
Crew?
quit, or not Mo quit. Sorry,
Jason
during
quit?
the time that
Yeah.
Jason quit. Yes.
Yeah, I was editing the issue crew for a while. I forgot about that.
You're editing the issue crew.
Wait, I
were
could put
also
you as a reference
editing-
too.
True.
I could put down these production companies.
You were editing like every podcast I did at the time.
Wait,
You
but
know,
if I put
you
down
both are
if I put
business
down
owners.
like Riley and Friends or like Moside Gaming, or if I named it that,
Mosai Productions.
yeah. If I named it something they could look up, then they would hear my podcasts and me
Ah,
saying inappropriate things.
Dag
So
nabbit.
Wah,
Wah, wah.
no, I could totally like give them a name that's not searchable, that would immediately lead them to my voice, but also like put down them as a reference. But I'm wondering if is it illegal that I put down totally bullshit references before? Like I've definitely put down.
I feel like it
definitely,
can't. I feel
given
like
it to
it's not
friends.
legally actionable that you lied on a job application. Maybe
Yeah, I
it's
don't think anyone.
It's legally actionable via the company can sue you probably.
Yeah,
But not legally actionable via you will go to jail.
I don't think Walmart is gonna have
I mean,
a
I think
$1 million
Is
lawsuit
fraud.
against me.
It's probably morally wrong, Robin.
Can
yes,
I
but
lie?
that doesn't.
About, can I put a?
You see, we're evil, actually. So that's why it doesn't matter.
Right.
So I feel like if you're caught using a fake reference, your application will be immediately rejected. It's not a gamble worth taking. I'm not getting legal.
But I think once you're hired, it might be actually a crime. Maybe.
I think it's legally actionable via suit from the company, but I don't think it's like go to jail illegal.
Yeah. I'm only getting moral arguments. I don't think it's morally wrong to literally have nothing to put down on this blank space while needing this job and then just putting a friend's name and
Yeah.
saying
Yeah, I
whatever.
mean, my
Not
dad always
even-
put on his applications that he like went to high school.
I've never I've never put a bullshit job reference, by the way. Only character references, like former educator or whatever.
Hello, my
I
name
think-
is Mr. Jenkins. I taught young Miss Demigloom in 8th grade.
Wait,
She was
Riley,
pretty cool.
haven't I put you as a bullshit character reference before?
I feel
Didn't
like,
I ask for your permission
I feel
to
like
do that?
maybe while I was really stoned and we were in a voice chat, you asked me that, and I absentmindedly said you could. That probably happened.
I definitely put my girlfriend as a fake reference. I think I might have put
No bias
Felonious
there.
Ferris as a character reference. Yeah, I just wrote girlfriend. Yeah, call my girlfriend. She'll look you up. No, I could probably I don't think it would be against any law or rule for me to put like Mo or Riley as a reference because they technically did employ me. Now, if the government were to investigate that employment, there'd be nothing. They would find nothing. They would be perfectly fine. I'm pretty
really
sure technically
annoying.
it just doesn't count as employment, though. Actually, now that I think about it,
I think
if you
the
don't make a certain
more-
amount.
I think the more you talk about it, the more you're going to psych yourself out of it.
I mean, you
Yeah.
were contracted, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's not use like official terms or anything. Like contracted, employed,
It's really
like
fucking
hours
stupid that
worked.
financial law works like this. You know what? Fucking taxation is theft, okay?
Yeah,
I'm tired
duh.
of fucking financial law. The fact that it's even a conversation we have to have about the legality of the fact that Mo Diggity paid his friend $20 to edit a podcast. Like, the fact that we have to discuss, like, the legal and, like, financial law implications of that happening is so fucking stupid. What world do we live in?
Yeah, but how
I'm
much
99.
money? How much money until you think it is like, oh, you do have to report this?
Like
I
if
don't
if he was paying her by the hour professionally.
But like, how much a month?
Well,
don't know.
$600 usually now because Pelosi's little fucking law got put in there. The IRS can investigate any transactions up to and above $600 now, coming from like a payment processor or something.
Was I making? I was definitely not making $600 a month, so I think we're good.
Yeah.
Well, no,
Yeah,
that's
I'm pretty
like
sure, like-
600 no, that's $600 in a transfer.
Oh,
In
then
one
we were
single
definitely fine.
transfer.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure there are things. It's one of those things where it's like legally questionable, but also there's virtually no way I could get in trouble for it.
Yeah, it's mostly a moral question. Do you
there's
morally
no-
oppose that? It's
nothing
like
morally
piracy,
wrong with
you
that.
know?
Well, Demigloom as a big progressive, you're a fan of taxes, right?
Yeah, I think taxing where it's meaningful.
I think when I say taxation is theft, I mean the amount of taxation that we currently receive is theft. There would be an amount of taxation where I'd be like, okay, that's reasonable, but the amount that we're paying right now is far above that amount.
I personally think that because like the state takes so much, it gets so much kickbacks from like the lottery and stuff like that. That's more than enough to fund all of our public schools like 20 or 30 times over because it's basically an idiot tax, right? Like you're an idiot if you gamble like this. So So with that being said, because they say this tax specifically is the school funder, I think property tax is definitely theft and definitely is a scam. Like
Yeah,
paying on
property
what
tax
you
is
already
bullshit.
own.
I hate income tax. That's my main form of tax. Like, you couldn't get rid of that income tax, I think, but I think it should definitely be drastically decreased, if not
I think it should all be.
in a
I
way
think
that
it
it's
should all
viable.
be. I think it should all be lower, and the rich need to be paying a much greater share.
100%. I agree
Well-
with that 1,000,000,000%, yes.
Honestly, I don't care about the tax rate on the rich so much. What I'm more concerned about are all the tax loopholes that, shell corporations being able to put up your directly deposit your money into like a fucking country that is neutral on that and doesn't really say yes to any intrusion unless it's legally actionable. Like the Cayman Islands, stuff like that. Tax havens are fucked up. I think they need to be abolished and made highly illegal.
I think religious institutions that are profiting should not be tax exempt.
I so too like that. I think mega churches should be taxed because it's kind of like a bit like if your shit's on anything but public access, which I know they'll use
Yeah.
that as a fucking loophole
I,
too. But we got to give all the churches something, like
Hang on,
you know,
the zealot
if you're
Riley is
shit.
trying to speak.
Well, no.
No, I agree with what
If
Mo
you're,
is saying. I'm saying,
yeah,
like,
if you
I think
if you're
I think the big mega churches should be taxed, but I think like the Joe Schmo church down the street, like the taxation exemption is like important to them.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
like the biggest churches out there that are taking in like a whole shit ton of money and like
Priests
airing
riding
on
around in
television
Lamborghinis and shit.
priests riding around in
Yeah.
Lamborghinis. Yes, those are the places that should be taxed. Yes, that's what I
Yeah.
would say.
I think regular churches should be taxed if they're profiting, because if they're making a profit, they're not just a religious thing; they're a business.
What do you determine? What do you mean by profit, though?
Money that is going anywhere besides directly back into the church and its causes.
Oh, okay. All right. Good. Okay, that's a good answer.
Yeah,
Because I was about to
definitely.
say, like, you know, they rely on donations, like the church,
Yeah.
churches that aren't like fucking scam joints or anything.
Even the scam joints ones take them. Of course, they still pass the bowl around.
And I think if you're passing that bowl around and that money's not going back to the church, you should not be tax exempt. If it's going directly into the church and its causes, then I don't think that needs to be taxed. I think that's morally wrong to tax that.
Yeah, totally.
I'm a big advocate for people's religious freedom. I used to be a big anti-religious person, wanting to fuck religious institutions out of everything they have, but I've grown to respect people's faith and religious causes that aren't going out of their way to hurt people.
Right, Demigloom, I'm hearing clicks and air conditioner.
Oh,
we
the
got
clicks
double
are
trouble.
coming from. Sorry, the clicks are coming from me. I
No, they're
have
not.
to say something.
I know what the difference is between Mo Diggity clicks and
I
Demigloom
haven't
clicks.
been clicking. Like, hearing a
maybe
lot
it
of
was-
clicks?
Maybe it was
Yeah,
you
Demi's
then.
been talking.
No,
this
it was
entire
just
time.
one click.
You playing Cookie Clicker?
Oh,
What's going on?
It was one. The one.
It was-
Okay,
It was
okay,
one
I
click
fucking
mixed in
respawned
with
in Agario. Okay, I'm sorry for respawning once in Agario.
Listen, I heard the click, and I was already hearing the AC, and I was like, okay, there's a noise issue in general, so I'm gonna say something.
Okay, I'll turn my fucking AC off. You happy?
Yeah, can you sweat?
I say that even though my AC definitely gets caught on this show, like 100%. I noise cancel it, and it like mostly works, but like you can still tell, kinda.
No, I've been blasting this like industrial fan that I got. So if like I was shocked that you weren't able to hear it earlier. So it's definitely reasonable to turn this shit off. I'm really worried about my AC making noise though, because my apartment just came with a fucking window unit, and that's all I have, and it's really, really loud. So when I have Felonious Ferris over and we record middle school GSA in person and do a video and shit, we're gonna have to turn that off. Maybe I'll just make it really cold in my apartment. And then
You see, for me, it's like if I lived like in a place with normal temperatures and normal humidity, I could probably do the no AC podcasting thing easy. Like if I lived in like a state where like it was summertime and it was like 85 to 90 degrees and it wasn't like the most humid a place could ever be, I could probably podcast in those positions. But unfortunately, I do live in Florida. So in the summertime, it is literally impossible for me to survive in a 2-hour voice call without the AC on, especially if I do not want to water damage my headset with the sweat.
You know, I know this is hashtag Southerner problems, but I really hate it when my northern friends are all like, it's so cool here. It's about 55 degrees. Like, motherfucker is breaking 107 right now. Fucking shut up about your cold weather. I might have to break my jacket out. I fucking hate you.
we have to. Okay, I don't like when people complain about cold in the South. People like I heard Jason talk about. Oh my god, it's like 40 degrees. We have to deal with negative temperatures all the time in Wisconsin. Old ladies freeze to death in their sleep every year here. Okay.
Oh,
We deal
yeah,
with some real shit in Wisconsin. Don't fuck with Wisconsin on the temperature.
I didn't say anything about that. Like, sometimes it's just like my friends in Minnesota are fucking mostly talking about. It's like, oh, it's so cold here. Don't you know? You know, it's like, god damn. Like, I don't
That's
care.
Michigan.
It's like,
That's the Michigan voice.
I don't care. Michigan, Minnesota.
No, that's probably the Minnesota
Canada.
voice too.
Demi, that's the
yeah.
Canada voice, is what Mo was doing,
Yeah.
which is also the Minnesota voice.
Which is also Minnesota, yes.
Yeah, it's also Minnesota.
Okay, well, I
I
don't
mean, it
know
depends on
people
what part
from
of Canada.
Minnesota.
I just hate
Yeah.
the heat, man. I don't know what it is. Like, I can't even, like, at this point, I just, like, hate the sun. Like, I wish the sun would go away, honestly. I love the cold. It's really funny to me when Floridians complain about, like, the thing is, with me, if it is 60 degrees or higher, 60 degrees or higher, shorts and a t-shirt. 60 degrees, shorts and a t-shirt,
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, same.
Whereas a lot of people in Florida, it's 60 degrees and they have like 3 jackets on.
Walking around like Jesse Pinkman.
Yes. People will complain about how cold it is when it's like 60 to 65 degrees, and I'll be like, what are you talking about, bro? This is wonderful. I love this.
Yeah.
I
People
want to go
complain about how...
I want to go run around naked in this weather. Like it's good.
I wear t-shirt and shorts in like 30-degree weather. I have no problem with that.
See, I think that's just my body's has never done that before, so it does not acclimate right. I'd like when it's really cold, my hands start to hurt. So that's when I gotta like have a jacket.
Oh yeah, you got to deal with it.
My
The hands,
yeah.
see, the hands start hurting, and then they like hurt so bad that they like the pain like reverses itself once you reach a certain like tolerance. It's really weird.
They blow up like 2 sizes as well.
Yeah, dude, my hand. I literally one time, my hand literally froze. Like I'm talking like my hand, like literally, my hand was completely frozen because I was
Holy
outside in
shit.
like negative 30-degree weather, and I had to walk my dog. My fucking father made me take my little sister and my dog on this voyage to the grocery store. It was like a 45-minute walk, and my dog was like huge, and she pulled really fucking hard, and my little sister was crying the whole time because she was freezing cold. And my hand literally froze. I couldn't move a single finger a little bit. That's happened like twice to me.
You gotta learn to just like let your parents be mad at you. Like if my parent asked me to walk a dog and a small child in negative 30-degree weather 45 minutes to the grocery store, I would tell them to go fuck themselves and lock myself in my room.
I was like 12 when this happened, by the way.
Still.
Yeah, that makes it worse.
Maybe you're the kid. It's your job.
Yeah, everything was my job.
That's even when you're a kid, you definitely do that. Because when you're an adult, if you're dealing with irrational people, they might just like kick you out. But when you're a kid, it's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And all you can do about that is like stop me from playing.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
games.
then you get beat.
My dad
That's
beat
fair.
me. I don't think you know this about I don't know if you know that about my father. My dad would hurt me. He would threaten
That's fair.
physical violence to get me to do what he wants.
Now, did you ever think of standing against the door and putting your hand on the doorknob? That was an epiphany for me when I was a kid. When I realized, because like my mother would come after me because she used to like hit me too, not like hit, but like she would like spank me or like just like hit me, like not like abuse hit, but like if I did something bad, she would physically
The justification.
Yeah.
I just want to make it clear that I don't consider myself abused. I was just disciplined physically sometimes.
My dad would
and I
spank me, but he would spank me extremely hard. Like I would have red marks all over my ass.
I would
and on my
block the
back.
door, and then because my mom is strong and I'm a child, she would just like open it still. But then one day I realized if I grab the doorknob, then it's harder for them to turn the door. So then it's double duty because I'm blocking the door physically, and my hand is also on the mechanism that needs to be turned to make the door open. So it's a double duty, and it's a lot easier to keep them out that way. That's what I learned.
Yeah, see, like for me, like there was no delaying or running from the punishment because it would just get worse. The punishment would be worse if I did that.
Yeah, that's fair.
It would just be, okay, you're fucking hiding from me. Well, you're going to get beat like 2 times harder for every minute that you're... I had a drunk dad. He was like, my dad was a Wisconsin alcoholic. He didn't like slam bottles of vodka or anything, but he drank a shit ton of beer. We're talking like, I don't know, like 6-7 beers in a night and then get really mad. He would come home from work, drink like 6 beers, be mad about other things, and then say, I don't know, I dropped a marker on the floor and there was a like a little bit of marker on the ground, he'd be furious and he would just like pick me up, spank me extremely hard, like 3 times, and then like put me on timeout for like 20 minutes, and then ground me from video games. And it was bad. I don't know why I'm talking about that.
I was getting a little like, oh, am I gonna have to cut this out later? Like,
I don't care.
okay, that's fair.
That's like some of the least fucked up shit that happened to me. So
That's fair enough. Like my mom was like, because it's one of those things where it's like that's how you can discipline a kid most efficiently if you're not doing it like crazy hard. And
I still
usually
think it's fucked up.
Usually she would. I disagree with it morally, but I don't feel like anybody who did it should be like executed. Like I feel like there's definitely like it's valid that it happened, but maybe we should move away from that as a society. But I remember one time. I remember one time my mother tricked me. She used trickery to get me to accept my punishment. What happened was I locked myself in the bathroom, and she like spent a couple minutes like knocking on the bathroom and shit and trying to get me to come out, and I wasn't gonna come out.
Cut out.
That's not what I meant to say. And at some point,
it's too good, Riley. You have to cut out. You have to cut out at some point.
At some point, she was just like, you know what? Whatever. Just fucking put all your shit in the car. Like, go unplug your PlayStation and put the PlayStation in the car, and then go to your room. And I waited for a few minutes, and then I went to do that, and then she met me outside when I had the PlayStation ready to put in the car, and she hit me.
I feel like if you're locking yourself in the bathroom to avoid your mother, you were kind of abused a little bit.
Well, I think it's 'cause I'm a pussy. Like, but
if you're a pussy, then your needs are actively not being met by your parents. You're a kid. Kids aren't pussies.
Come on.
I'm not saying that your mother is a horrible person. I'm just saying that behavior is taking advantage of a vulnerable child in a destructive manner.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair. I just don't want to badmouth my mother at the end of the day, because like she's definitely.
I'm not badmouthing her intentions or her character. I'm just saying that like she
should have acted differently in that.
She did things that had bad consequences.
Yeah, that's
serious consequences.
Serious consequences.
Riley's like half doing the voice. Doesn't want to get canceled.
Oh, the Eric July impression from the Dick Show.
Yeah.
It's not racist.
Dick didn't have to be racist about it too. That was kind of messed up.
Well, at this point now, it's all guns fire. And
that gives you a pass to be racist.
Well, I mean, if no one else and no one in the immediate fan base or anything of significant importance, cares, then no one really cares. It's unfortunately the consensus of the world is like.
I'm also in a position where I only consider racism bad if you look at a person of a different race and say I hate you because you're a different race. Just doing a funny voice.
That's pretty much exactly.
Just doing a funny voice is fine.
You really think there are no like negative social ramifications for being racist as long as you don't hate all people of a certain ethnicity? There's no such thing as toxic racial bias or holding people of different ethnicities to different expectations in a way that's destructive to that group of people. None of that's real. You just have to unambiguously hate them. Because if you know anything about sociology or how race relations work, you know that there's more. You know that there's much more to it.
The vouch viewer.
I'm generalizing a little bit, but I think you understand the point I'm trying to make. I don't think it's necessarily problematically racist. You have to cancel a person because they did an Eric July impression that may or may not be racially based.
It may or may not be extremely exaggerated and driven in the direction of racial stereotypes that are not applicable to Eric July himself.
Yes, because it's very funny.
You can argue that it's funny, and you can argue that does not make Dick Masterson
I think there's a difference between
racist.
Real problematic racism and just like racial-based comedy.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I just think that they're both bad to different degrees. I think if you're insulting someone on the basis of ethnicity, even if it's for the sake of a joke, it's bad. I don't think it makes you as bad as a Ku Klux Klan Klansmen, but I still think it has negative social consequences, serious consequences.
But what if you're being racist tactically?
Yeah,
Tactically,
it's
no.
tactical racism.
Shut the fuck up! I'm not that much of a Vosh fan, okay?
What a
And when
salient point.
sociology is just a pretentious way of saying cause and effect on a large scale.
Really
Also,
ameliorated that
the
one.
voice that they were doing is pretty accurate to Eric July. I don't know what you
Not
mean.
not really. I listened to Eric July to see because I was actually invested in whether or not it was racist when I was listening to that episode of the Dick Show. I don't think Dick
How
Masterson is
accurate
a
does it have to
raging.
be to be
I don't think
not
Dick
racist?
Masterson is a raging racist. I just think he's a raging transphobe
Misogynist.
and misogynist. Yeah, I fucking hate. I hate the rhetorical, like the impact that Vosh has had on the way I talk, or not just Vosh,
Yeah,
but like
it's
BreadTube in
bad.
general. Because like, if you ask a Vosh
He
fan,
talks like a fucking idiot.
if you ask a Vosh fan, like, are you racist? They're going to be like, well, I think I've certainly engaged in behavior that would constitute applying such a
God,
label
yeah.
to me. But it's like, answer the question, are you racist? Well, I've certainly exhibited characteristics of a societal bias, or I've certainly reflected, it's always, I've certainly reflected, exhibited, engaged in behavior. It's fucking annoying.
Well, you can tell a Vosh fan from a mile away because they just use big words wrong.
Yeah, usually. And I don't think Vosh is nearly as guilty of this as his fan base is.
No, he's pretty guilty of it.
He's I don't think he's even close to as bad as his fan. Like a Vosh fan is way more insufferable
Every
than
time
Vosh himself.
I've like watched a debate of his, I'm like, what is he even talking about? He just said like 3 whole sentences that made no fucking sense.
I don't know about that.
Like I
maybe his
understand
older
what he's
stuff.
trying to say, but I'm like, you've said like just nonsense.
I think it's I don't think it's like reflective of any kind of dishonesty.
I didn't say that. I just said
I think
kinda
it's
dumb.
yeah, I don't think he's dumb either. I don't think he's dishonest, stupid, or manipulative or anything like that. I think he just talks really weirdly in a way that makes some of his statements, I guess, circular or nonsensical.
I've never
especially to
seen
someone who's not used to his speech patterns.
I've never seen anything of Vosh's, but I am guilty of using big words. I don't always necessarily know exactly what they mean.
Do you ever like? Are you ever like pretty sure you know what a big word means?
Yeah,
and
I'm
you use
pretty sure. Yeah, exactly.
That's what Bosch does.
I think I got all those words from fucking. I think literally all of those words I got from one of two people. One of which is Maddox, and the other of which is Trixie.
Trixie probably doesn't know what the fuck a word means either. Trixie,
like in her like super like in depth like anime analysis, she'll use like words like pedantic and like other big words, and I'll be like, yeah.
I feel like every time I talk to her,
colloquialism,
like, everything's made sense. I don't think she's used anything wrong.
I think in her essays,
they use it wrong. I'm saying I get it from them, and then I use it wrong because I didn't quite get the context.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Are you really they-theming a trans woman? Are we going back to this?
Oh wait, was I? Shit.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
No, I think she definitely checks the dictionary or like a thesaurus to find a more fancy sounding word for like a
thesaurus.
That may be.
I look into the thesaurus every time I write rap lyrics, so I can't say shit. But like, you know, it's sometimes when it's very obvious that you're doing that, it's kind of funny.
I don't know. Seems a little shallow and pedantic to me.
Shallow and pedantic.
Yes, I agree. Shallow and pedantic.
So it's happened. I've fallen victim to mobile game addiction once again for the first time in a very long time.
Oh, what you playing?
So this is funny because this is a game that like nobody has like remembered the existence of for years. It is the mobile like spin-off title of the PC rhythm game Osu, called Osu Stream.
Yo.
And I downloaded it on my iPad, and it's just like a mobile version of Osu that's like more set up for touch controls. Unfortunately, you cannot do custom songs. It's just like they have a set of stuff. But I downloaded that, and I've just been playing it recently a lot because it's fun. because I like rhythm games.
I can't play Osu. It's too hard.
Dude,
Too
play
hard.
Stepmania.
I don't know if I could play Osu just because I'm not good with mice, but I know how to work a touchscreen, so I can play Osu
Stepmania,
Stream.
you guys gotta play Stepmania. That's where it's at.
Stepmania?
Hell yeah!
I played-
It's, like the keyboard keys. He's like up, down, left, right.
Oh.
I played this one Hatsune Miku game, this one Hatsune Miku demo for the 3DS, and got really mad at it. So I hate rhythm games now.
It's like
That's fair.
Stepmania is like the upgraded version of Flash Revolution. If any of you have played that.
I know what it is.
I've never heard of Flash Revolution, but I assume it's just a Flash game version of Dance Dance Revolution.
Yeah, and then Stepmania is like the better version of that.
Okay.
It's hard as fuck though.
Man, I can't believe they got rid of the Flash player. That's still like I think that's like the biggest internet tragedy in like the
Well,
past
Newgrounds is
decade.
like still around, right? What the fuck is Newgrounds doing?
They
just
like
converted
they have
it
like
all.
Flash emulators built in, but like
Yeah.
those emulators are imperfect. So there's still like a lot of ways to go on development for those emulators before they can play like any given Flash game without issue. So the world of Flash games has been significantly hindered, even though we're working towards scenarios where these games can be preserved. It's not perfect yet, and it sucks that they got rid of this this essential tool that I'm sure they knew was integral to so much media on the internet. It's fucking stupid. I'm
Isn't
pissed.
Flash? Did the existence of Flash Player like cost them money? Because to my understanding, Flash Player is just like basically like a software extension that you have. It's not like an
think
online
it-
service.
It costed them money because they had to do like security maintenance on it.
Did Adobe
Um,
like host things that ran on Flash? Like, did that cost them bandwidth?
I don't know.
I think so.
When you open like a little application that's like Adobe Flash Player, like
I think it did.
yeah, that would make sense then if that's why they had to get rid of it. Because I'm pretty sure just the like having Flash Player on your browser didn't cost them anything. But if they're hosting to some degree the Flash games themselves,
Yeah, I guess so.
Like I feel like didn't like Netflix used to use Flash?
probably.
Everything used to use Flash.
Yeah,
like
it's fucking
every
crazy.
video platform used to run on Flash.
Did YouTube use Flash?
Yes, you used to have Flash to use YouTube.
I remember that. I totally forgot about that. I remember like when like if you didn't have Adobe Flash Player installed, you couldn't use anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
All the way up until like 2013 at least,
Yeah,
right?
it was like way later than it should have been.
Yeah.
Well, because Flash like sucked. Like it was awesome, but it sucked.
It was, like
it was
the,
cool to have
the-
like a universal way to like host all types of shit. It was like I'm pretty sure it was easily accessible for like developers. Like it was a cool
Yes,
tool.
that was the cool part about it, and that's why
Yeah.
Newgrounds was a thing
Yeah.
because like anybody could use Flash basically.
I do miss Flash though. I miss my little remnants of Web 1.0. I really do miss those days.
Flash is definitely not Web 1.0.
Yeah, it's Web 1.0. Yeah, Flash has been around for a really, really, really long time.
We're in Web 2.0, right?
okay, the real
Yeah, I
quick,
think so.
Mo Diggity, give me the scoop because I've been hearing all about these Web 2.0s and Web 3.0s. What does that mean? What are the
Web 3.0 is a myth.
Web 3.0
Like
is a
multiplayer.
myth, yes, but like, what is the point O's? Like, what is the split there? Why is there a different like era?
Okay, so basically everything from like the early 90s when the internet became more accessible to like the everyday person, but like mostly middle class people with a little bit of money who people were sort of looking at computers like these are luxury items instead of necessities, until you get to the mid to late 90s when having a home computer is a really good fucking idea, and then they became affordable, blah 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 blah. So the internet from the 90s till about 2000, I say 8, maybe, kind of in my estimation. And then from like 2009 onward, we've got Web 2.0. And it's sort of like it depends on who you talk to, what they mean by their definition of Web 1.0, 2.0 is sometimes it's like corporatization versus a more free, more wild, wild west sort of internet, which is what 1.0 kind of really was. That's when you had, everything before fucking YouTube. That was everything before like social media was really coming out of its infancy. I think we are hearing rumblings. I think right around the 1.0, the 0.10. Well, fuck. When was MySpace? 2002, 2003, something like that.
I think it
That
was like
sounds about
2004.
right.
All right, okay. So maybe it's maybe a little bit about 4 years earlier. Web 2.0 really started coming around when social media was becoming more of a thing. Like when the MySpaces, outgo
Happening
the
again.
outgo the fucking forums. In comes MySpace, Facebook, Twitter, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
See, I thought it was Web 1.0 was when like literally like everybody had their own fucking website and like nothing
Hell
was like
yeah.
I thought Web 2.0 referred to like the centralization of everything. Like the one place where you host videos is YouTube. And like
Yeah.
the one place where you
Yes.
like post your intrusive thoughts is Twitter. The one place where you have all your like random pictures is Instagram, and the one place where you like catalog your family photos is Facebook, et cetera, et cetera. There's a
Yes.
one place for everything. Whereas Web
Yeah.
1.0 was a time where everyone had their own website, everyone hosted their own shit, or everything was separated into like really small communities. And you had these like vague things like Reddit and 4chan and yada yada yada. These websites where there were like big communities full of a lot of shit, but there was never a single website that was the only place where everyone congregated. There was definitely not a website where you could ask any girl you met at a bar if she had an account on it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's actually a really good way to succinctly put it. Like you couldn't say, "Oh yeah, man, I'm on fucking Perch." Yeah, like what fucking room were you in? Oh, fucking looking for sluts 65. Oh, I was in looking for whores 79. Like no one fucking would care about that. No one would know about that. It was just so fucking random. Like you'd have the only way you'd be able to do that is if like you talk to your friends and to go into your favorite fucking forum, because forums were very web 1.0.
Dude, I miss forums.
I miss forums so fucking much, and it's just no one wants to go to them. So you're kind of fucked, and you pretty much just all you have is social media, the sanitized version of social media, and it's a bummer. I miss forums more.
That's fair.
Forums still exist, but like none of them are active enough to warrant being an inactive user yourself. It's kind of a chicken or egg situation, or more of a, I guess I would describe it as a positive feedback loop, where there's not enough users to warrant being an active user yourself. Like I feel like if you were to snap your fingers and everybody were to decide we're going to go on forums again, that would be a magical thing. Or everybody was like in agreement that we're going to bring forums back, that would be cool, but that's just not going to happen. Humanity, the collective consciousness has decided that we're not going to go on forums, and because of that, nobody's trying to bring it back.
Well, it's funny because like forums weren't
What's up,
that
forum?
active anyway.
That's true.
Well,
I think
yeah,
it's
because
I think the
there's probably
internet
more
became more
activity on them
active
than
in
there was
other
back then.
places.
Like-
I
Yeah.
think it became more active in other places when it wasn't before. Yeah.
yeah, because who needs to go to a forum page when I can just go to the subreddit?
To put it into perspective, 4chan, which was one of the largest forums like on Earth for a very long time.
Yeah.
It's such a small
Is
community.
Reddit not kind of a forum?
Yeah, Reddit's it's like a hybrid.
Okay.
But there was a point where 4chan was one of the biggest forums in the world, and it's so irrelevant now that if I post my face on 4chan with like a caption, people will just say, "Shut the fuck up, Demigloom." Like everyone on that website knows who I am. Or enough so that if I post my face and like 120 people see it, somebody will recognize me. That's how small 4chan is.
That's
That,
why
like-
every once in a while there'll be a comment where somebody is just amused that you are Demigloom.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if
Shut
you
up,
remember.
Demigloom.
No. There's a comment on the Breaking Bad DS video It's the pinned comment where you
Yeah,
posted
yeah,
the
yeah.
music. Somebody just commented Demigloom Lamau.
Demigloom
Probably because
Lamau.
they knew you from 4chan.
Oh, they didn't know me from. They probably didn't know me from 4chan. They probably knew me from the negative XP situation or Twitter.
Maybe.
The
Yeah.
thing with 4chan is like not just like the spirit. 4chan is as Thor said about Asgard. It's a people and not a place. You know what I mean? Whether or not you're on the 4chan, or not you're on the 4chan website, like there are Discord servers that just are 4chan. Like they're all 4chan people. The culture of 4chan extends to these spaces, and I became pretty well known in those spaces for just being mad at incels and being psychotic in general. And it's, I had a brief period of relevance. Obviously, when Negative XP got mad at me, I was friends with some popular musicians in that circle, and over the years, I've gained some popularity. More hatred than popularity, but some fame nonetheless. And
Some infamy.
it's
Some
really
healthy infamy.
yeah, some infamy. And the fact that I have gained a level of infamy in that circle that, to the point where if I post my face, someone's going to recognize me. That says something about how big of a deal a forum is. Because if Demigloom is relevant to like broader 4chan discussion or 4chan culture, then it clearly doesn't take a whole lot to climb that totem pole.
For sure.
So I gotta talk about something real quick.
Okay.
So get this, right? I saw this earlier today, and then Robin posted this, DM'd me on this, and I saw this breaking news as of like 4 o'clock. So just a couple hours ago, Smash Mouth Steve Harwell on his deathbed report. And, I
Wait,
didn't say anything
is he
bad.
like
Yeah, the
the
guy from.
Smash Mouth guy?
Yeah, he's the
Yeah,
lead
the
singer. Hey,
Oh
now
my
you're an
God.
all-star. Get your game on, dude. The comments just. You can't really expect anything. I keep forgetting that you can't expect anything decent from fucking Twitter, because it's just, this is the first comment I see. Hey, now you're a cadaver. The vaccine. And then there's a bunch of people that are talking about the vaccine. No, the vaccine's good. The vaccine's bad. Blah, blah. A wave of random Gen X deaths aren't normal. That's so weird. Then Shrek crying. No.
To be real,
My own
like
personal 9/11. That's another one I see.
the thing is, celebrity deaths, like it's hard to make me cry via a celebrity death. I didn't even cry when Jason David Frank died. Like I was depressed about it, but I was not like emotionally affronted enough to just like start crying. I might cry if the lead singer of Smash Mouth dies.
Fucking no, Riley. No, cry for an author or something. Don't fucking cry for.
Smash Mouth was a great band, bro. Fuck
Yes.
off.
No, Smash Mouth had those two songs though. Very first single, "Walking on the Sun," and then fucking All Star, and
And then
everyone.
I'm a believer.
Oh yeah, the fucking anything
other
that they
Shrek
put on the
songs.
fucking Shrek songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I guess they had like 5 or 6 hits. It's just I'm so sick of them. I just don't want. I guess I don't want to hear their music. But don't fucking cry for the lead singer of fucking Smash.
He literally got a Derek Savage 420 award, man. He's a legend.
What the fuck is a Derek Savage 420 award?
The guy who you know Cool Cat?
No.
You don't know what okay, well there's this shitty
You don't know
like
about Cool
educational
Cat?
What are you
There's
talking
this-
about? Like Cool Cat, like Paula
Cool
Abdul?
Cat saves the kids? No. There's this like shitty like independent like quote unquote children's film made by this weird pervert guy called Cool Cat Saves the Kids, and it's just become like an internet meme. But this guy started like an awards show where he like started giving, it's called the 420 Awards, where he started giving like celebrities he had never known like awards. And one of the few celebrities that ever actually accepted their 420 award was the guy from Smash Mouth. Because
Oh dear God!
This like
That's
award show that got
legendary.
like 40 views on YouTube.
Fuck yeah.
You guys want to know the most embarrassing Zoomer shit that I've ever cried over?
Okay.
I cried when XXX Tentacion died.
Oh.
like bawling, like tears. Like I called my friends and we grieved together over the death of this rapper who, you know, may or may not have achieved adequate consent when he
I
threatens
honestly-
to rape a woman with a fire poker.
Rip in peace. But
Great guy.
great guy. But I honestly like feel like a monster that I didn't cry when I found out Jason David Frank died.
You should never feel bad for not having an emotional reaction to something.
That's probably very true. What you're
You
saying.
should cry
It's just
because
like,
you didn't cry.
I should.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Like I definitely was like depressed about it, so that's probably like I think that's an acceptable reaction. I just didn't have an instinct cry reaction, but I was very sad.
I'll spare the details, but like just because it's like personal life stuff.
Yeah.
Not that it's so heinous I can't talk about. Just I don't want to talk about my family.
Back
But
when
like there are
Demigloom
definitely
committed that awful crime.
yeah. There are definitely things that happened in my family that I should have, like, most people would think I should have cried over, but like I legitimately just couldn't bring myself to cry about it. Like it was emotionally devastating, and I could like acknowledge that like I probably should cry, but like it just didn't happen to me, and I found that not thinking about it, because I'm going through my own mental health crises at all times. Like I basically just decided that I can acknowledge how devastating this is and offer my support to everyone involved, but crying and dwelling on it is going to make my situation a lot worse, and I can't do that right now. I think most people would agree that that's reasonable, but in the face
Bad
of
AC
somebody's
now, just real shit.
Look, dude, I'm sweating to death. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll probably get it in the noise cancel. It'll probably be better in the final product.
That noise cancellation literally makes everything worse. So
Demigloom, you're literally you have audiophile ears because you spent your entire childhood in FL Studio. It's better to not have an.
I've only been using FL
is...
Studio for like 7 years. Okay.
Like, oh, there's a little
how's
bit
your
of
tinnitus?
distortion if you do noise cancellation, so it's worse. I'd rather be a little
It's
bit
not
distorted
distortion.
than there be
It
an
cuts,
AC.
It actively cuts out frequencies of your voice, and it sounds bad. You sound like you know, in a movie when like you hear somebody like talking like interdimensionally. It's like wow, I can't.
Demigloom, that is the sacrifice.
Like someone's
that
talking
you
through the
make.
wind.
It sounds better to sound like that than it does to have an AC in the background. So amateur podcasters like us that
Amateur
don't have
podcasters shouldn't exist if those are your two options.
Shut the fuck up. Amateur podcasters don't have
You will never be a woman
to,
if you can't do that.
Don't
okay?
have access to professional like audio equipment and can't get rid of the AC noise that way. They have to do it in noise cancellation and it makes them sound maybe a little bit off, but nobody ever notices. Some of the podcasts out there that sound the best, that people agree are like, this sounds perfect. They ask them, how do you do it? And the first thing they say is noise cancellation. Really helps.
Well, they know how to do it better. That's all I could say.
Okay.
Audacity noise cancellation, the way y'all apply you apply it too liberally. It sounds like you put a phaser on somebody's voice. And you can still hear the frequency of the white noise or whatever it is, just like
I've been using noise
way.
cancellation lately, and as far as I can tell, it's not affecting the voice quality in any meaningful way.
You cannot actively cut out the frequency of the fan without cutting out some
but it
frequency
suppresses
of the
it.
voice. Well,
this is
suppress.
stupid.
Okay, so
This
suppress some of the fan. It suppresses some of the voice. That's how it works. That's how microphones work. They pick
And it
up
ends up
different
sounding
frequencies.
better than if you just left it as is with the fucking blowing fan in the background.
If you figured out a way to make it better than Jason does, then more power.
Buy a
to
better
you.
fan.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, I've just been using Audacity noise cancellation as I always have, but it hasn't caused issue. You listen to Detour Ahead, right? I've been using noise cancellation on that for a while. Have you noticed anything?
I mean, it doesn't always sound great, but it's not terrible.
Yeah.
Like,
Or
it's
actually
definitely
stop using a
acceptable
fan,
podcast
like take blood
quality.
thinners or something.
What'd you say, Robin?
Sometimes.
I said take blood thinners, so that way you don't need a fan in the first place.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah. There you go.
Sometimes, though, in Detour Head, and it's probably partially Discord, but like the last like worst, like split second of a sentence gets cut off. That happens all the
that's
time with
so
noise
tragic.
cancellation, and that's horrible.
No, I that was a legitimate. That's so tragic. That was not sarcastic.
No, it's horrible. You know, apparently on radio, they have cough buttons that like mute their microphones tactically without making a noise for when
That's
they need
smart.
to cough. Is there a Can I get a tactical mute button? Because like my microphone has a big round button on it that I can push to mute it, but like it makes a noise that you can hear. Like if I push it, you heard me push the button, right? When I cut off my sentence? No?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did.
I
You can hear
didn't.
the button get pushed, but there needs to
I
be
have
like a
hearing damage, though,
tactical
so-
mute. Because if I
It's so
click it with
funny
my
that, like-
mouse on Discord, you can hear that too.
The thing about the noises is like even at the professional level, it's real. Like I've been falling down a rabbit hole lately, and I've been watching like old like Opie and Anthony shit and like adjacent stuff to that show. And I watched a clip where just like the whole time, they would be talking, and it was like the video version of the show, and somebody was manually operating a camera and switching it between the two of them, and you could hear like a squeak every time they turned the camera, and it was the most insufferable shit I had ever heard in my life in a professional Sirius XM radio talk program.
Dude, my favorite is when like the camera zooms and you can hear it.
Yeah.
If you listen to like NPR, they don't give a shit about white noise. There's like white noise everywhere, and they like
No, they don't.
you
No,
can
they
hear
don't.
them like you can hear
Yeah, but
their
that's
like
kinda the
mouth
charm, right?
suckling. You can hear their mouth suckling every time, or like when they like say like make an S sound, it's like super loud.
When I
Um,
was, when
I swear to God,
wa-
they just turn like the high frequency like all the way up in the EQ, and they're like, yeah, this sounds good. This sounds professional.
when I was listening and watching a shit ton of democracy and democracynow.org, you could tell that they're in like a real low budget fucking studio, because every once in a while they'll fuck up and like the makeup person will be like on stage, and then all of a sudden the camera will pop up. Then you see her backside, and then go. Hi, welcome to, this is Amy Goodman and Juan Gonzalez for Democracy Now! I was like, oh fuck, man. Or like, you know, Amy Goodman is talking to somebody off camera. Sit down, we're about to run. And, you know, like you'll hear that. I enjoy that. I don't rag on them too much for it. At least it wasn't as bad as the other one that TYT and Keith Olbermann were on. The sort of like liberal alternative to MSNBC once upon a time, like 2009, 2010. It was a horrid fucking news channel. It was just terrible. I forgot what the name of it was, but they had no idea what the fuck they were doing the entire time they were in studio. Like they would just have like TYT. If you go back and like watch their stuff from like 2007, 2008, that standard of quality right there, even though it was all like pre 720p and all that stuff, it was all 480 and shit. That was still a better quality program than it was on that One News network that them and Keith Olbermann were trying to launch. I can see by your silence, y'all have no idea what station I'm talking about.
No,
No.
I've literally
No, but I
idea.
understand your point.
Yeah, it wasn't Air America. Air America it was really good for a while, and then they all like started hiring the good ones left, and then they started hiring more actors that were like friends of the people that were running it, and then like you only had like one or two, maybe like two or three people throughout the entire thing that were like brilliant fucking newscasters and stuff. Like early Rachel Maddow was fucking awesome. TYT, fucking Joe something or other. Oh God, it's been a while since Tom Woodland, Tom Hartman. Yeah, Tom Hartman. Yeah, Tom Hartman, I think, was on Air America for a while, and he was really fucking phenomenal.
Tom
Now
Hartman
he's got
is
his
pretty
own.
good.
He's got his own internet show. It's okay. It's just too. He's
Corporate.
just too up the establishment's ass. Like he's just too pro establishment. It's kind of a bummer because you look at his past shit and you're like, dude, you were a fucking real voice. Now you're just kind of a shill.
I think when you get like reach a certain size, you just get the closer you get to government as a journalist, the more the less you can actually talk about like fundamental issues, and the more you have to talk about just like, okay, this is who we need to vote for, and this is the bill that needs to get passed. And then it becomes boring politics, which is, I mean, it becomes real life politics, more applicable politics, but boring nonetheless.
Yeah, which I guess wouldn't be so bad, but it's just sometimes it's just fucking unbearable, and it makes you feel like what started for me was I was like losing my hope when I was seeing all my the progressive people that I was really looking up to, even talked to a few of them way back in the day before they got big. Because I talked to Tom Hartman a few times. I talked to fucking Cenk Uygur and Ed Kasparian and TYT.
Yeah,
for, like, a
you
long
When did
time.
you talk-
Ugur's dick? Yeah, we've
When
talked
did you
about this
what did you
several
talk
times.
to Tom Hartman, Anna Kasparian, and Cenk Uygur about?
Oh,
Because like
this
I have a
was,
lot
like-
of mean things that I would say to Cenk Uygur and Anna Kasparian right now.
Oh, well,
I
no,
would kill
this
for that
was like
opportunity.
this was like back in 2008, 2009. Robin's
Yeah.
got the 5-minute warning, by the way. So I don't know if
This
you
is
guys
true.
want to wrap up or if
Yeah,
you
we
guys
can.
just.
I want to hear what you. I want to hear what Mo Diggity said to the Young Turks, real quick.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, real
Oh,
quick.
we
and
just
then we'll
talked
wrap
about-
up.
Oh, we were just talking about like anti-war stuff going on at the time, the war on terrorism and all that. Like we didn't have like a deep conversation. I was just a fucking, like I DM'd him a couple of times, like Anna mostly because I was part of the street team back in those fucking days.
There was something
for
deep
Houston
about the
and stuff.
conversation.
Well, it was just something
It was
like
Mo Diggity's throne.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, shut up. See, you're just ruining everything, and you fucking suck. It was.
Did you put
it was-
Cenk Uygur as a reference for your job?
yes. He personally said, "Yeah, man, I'll just say I was your team lead for your fucking job, no problem."
Absolutely.
Anyway,
Can I
He
put
sucked
Anna
my dick very
Kasparian
well.
Can I put Anna Kasparian as a reference?
oh yeah, totally. So you can tell her I said I gave you permission, okay?
Yeah.
But it's not like we were
Yeah.
like best friends or anything. I mean, this is before they were popular. When
Wow, you guys
could
were
still
best friends?
reach. Yeah, like when you can still reach people. Like Tom Hartman, like he read an email from me one time. Kind of gave me sort of a bullshit answer, but I was kind of an edgelord too, and using dickish language to like throw my point out. But I think he thought I was a troll. But there was another one where like I emailed him not as an asshole, and like I kind of got a half-ass read off of it, but it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So
Yes, that's pretty much it. You guys just want to go ahead and start doing your wrap up. Robin, we'll go ahead and start with you.
Yeah, it's probably the best place to start because I'm the quickest. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/RobinViolet.
Hell yeah.
All right. And Riley, where can they find you?
You can find me in the link tree. It's in the description, or it's on my pinned post on my X page. And it's Riley Tweets. And it's linktr.ee/Riley Cinematic Universe, RIELY Cinematic Universe. For all your podcasts and YouTube's needs, they're there. You can go there. You can listen to all the podcasts I've ever made, except for the Death Stream episode 5, which is now lost media because YouTube insists it's hate speech.
There probably was hate speech in there. Let's be honest.
You know, it wasn't.
Like-
it was like 5 hours long. I don't remember who was all in
It's
there.
5
There might have
hours.
been some hate speech.
Jason was in there, and
There might
me
have
and
been
Jason
some hate
yelled at each
speech.
other. There was probably some hate speech in there.
There might have been some light hate speech. I really revel at the idea that maybe somebody did have to watch that video all the way through. Because the first time they definitely didn't, because they rejected my appeal in 10 minutes. But then
Yeah.
when they reviewed it, when I tag team YouTube, it took them like a day to get back to me. So maybe like John Stevens over at YouTube HQ had to sit
There's
through
no
the
way.
Death Stream
I
episode
refuse to believe
5.
it. They don't give a shit about small channels. They'll just totally bullshit you. Team YouTube is one of the least reputable, like, company outreach people ever.
Yeah, understandable. Where can they find you, Demigloom?
Listen to Middle School GSA, your favorite LGBTQ plus podcast. Me and my non-binary best friend Felonious Ferris discuss a variety of insufferable queer topics, from a trans perspective. I'm a trans woman. They're non-binary, and we all have unique perspectives of her. Recently, We had a friendly conversation with a Catholic trans woman that ended up getting a little bit heated. We've discussed the concept of fetishization in and of the queer community. We had a pretty wild debate on neopronouns, which Riley seems to think was a good episode.
It was so good. It was so funny. You don't like it because you were mean to Felonious Ferris and you feel bad that you were mean to Felonious Ferris, but it was really funny.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, and we've also discussed a variety of issues. Performative activists, trans trenders, and whether or not they exist and are an issue. We talked about how anime is problematic. We fixed the Constitution. That's right, we rewrote the Bill of Rights of the United States of America. I told my entire queer backstory and my transgender coming out story. We talked about guns and their place in society. We talked about feminism and queerness in feminism. Great stuff. All on the dark web, guys. No, I'm kidding. It's on YouTube.
All on the dark web. Middle School GSA,
Even
only
my
accessible
girlfriend.
to Tor.
Even my girlfriend came from the dark web, guys. No, nobody knows what I'm quoting. Look up J Station Slave Dark Web Slave. It's a really funny video. Anyways, we're available on all podcast platforms, including YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. We prefer
Those are the only ones.
We prefer those are not the only ones. We prefer if you use YouTube or Spotify because that's where our engagement comes from, and that's where those are the numbers we really pay attention to. So go please smash the like button, subscribe to Middle School GSA on YouTube, or follow us on Spotify. Give us a rating if you listen to an episode and enjoy it or not enjoy it. I'd like an accurate rating. We currently have like a 4.6 star rating. I think one dickhead gave us like a 1-star rating because I do advertise.
I did see that it was pretty low because like even all of my shows, like they only have 2 or 3 reviews, but most of them are like 5 stars, except Kira's Kingdom's like 3.8. But
have I rated? I think I gave it 5 stars.
But I saw you were like a 4.2 or whatever, and I was like, oh, I guess this one's more divisive. The Detour Head is currently a 5-star podcast on Spotify.
Oh shit, we're 4.3 now. Fuck. Have you rated it? Did you rate it on Spotify? Did you give it 5 stars?
I'll try. I don't know if I've actually listened to it on Spotify before. Wait, yes, okay. I have, and I've rated it. Yes, okay.
Okay.
I forgot. Spotify stopped being my primary.
On Spotify.
Spotify stopped being a podcast app for me a while ago, but not a while ago enough for me to have not listened to Middle School GSA on there.
I'm really not making a case. I'm like, everybody, check out my 4.3 star podcast. No, some dickhead gave us a low rating. I mean, if you want to know whether or not it's a good rating,
the Riley Podcast Mega Feed, I think, has like a 2.5 on Apple.
On Apple on Apple Podcast, it had 1.5 stars.
It had 1 star at some point, and that was a joke on the Largest Issue website.
Yeah.
But I think now it's like 2.5 or 3 or something in that ballpark.
On Apple?
Yeah.
What does the Mega Feed have on Spotify?
I think it has 5 stars.
Let me do something about that real quick.
No!
Oh, it has 4.8.
Okay.
Okay, I think we sort of forgot that we were ending the show here.
Where did they find you, Mo?
I mean, we kind of got off track. I'm sorry. I was just trying to get us back on track. Everyone can find me at twitter.com/MSG at MSG official YT, at Moside Gaming on there. Moside Gaming on Twitter. Moside Gaming on fucking kick.com. Threads, Instagram, TikTok, your mama's house, fucking everywhere. Just Moside Gaming all over the place.
Everywhere.
Check
and nowhere at the same time.
Oh, and check out my sponsor, W.GG. Use promo code MoDiggity. Save 10% until purchase. Check out the podcast. The fucking. What do we call this thing? The Mocast?
The Mocast. Check out the podcast that you're at the end of right now.
Yes. I was about to say the Mo Show. I was like, no, I'm not on the Mo Show. It's the fucking Mocast, idiot. Yeah. It's the Mocast.
Have you done any Mo shows recently?
I'm going to do one later on tonight, probably.
Gee, later on tonight. It's 9 p.m. Come on now.
Oh, it's 8 o'clock here.
Oh, that's fair.
And I got a 3-day weekend.
Have fun on the Mo Show, Mo. Hey, I got a 3-day weekend too. What are the odds?
Hell yeah! This is the first job.
It's almost like there's a national holiday.
I don't have a 3-day weekend. Fuck my life.
Yeah, that's the thing. I've always worked jobs where I never get fucking Memorial Day or Labor Day fucking off, or really any holidays. Sometimes they want us to fucking come in on Christmas and Thanksgiving. But
Fuck
we
that.
told them to go fuck themselves, and yeah.
The thing about my job is like I work in a job where like if I asked for a holiday off, they would give it to me. But the reality is like I don't do much. And it would be farcical to just like request it off for no reason just because everybody else has it off. I kind of wish they would just like take it away forcefully. But unfortunately, most holidays, I do have at least the option to work. I think like maybe Christmas Day we don't. I think that might be the one.
All right. Okie dokie. I'll see you guys next week. Take care now. Thanks for listening. Ta-ta.
Bye.
Bye.
What about tatas?
Ta-ta?
Take